Welcome in. This is Math Course 1, Unit 1, Fractions, Review and Mastery. Topic 3, Simplifying Fractions. Remember, at the end of each image, just about each image will have an activity in your student workbook. So, let's go. Greatest common factor. So, today we're going to learn about the greatest common factor, the GCF. In other words, GCF, greatest common factor, is the largest number that can divide two or more numbers without leaving a remainder. So let's look at the number 12 and the number 18. First, list the factors of the numbers 12 and 18. Factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Factors of 18 are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. Now, find the numbers that are in both lists. These are the common factors. 1, 2, 3, and 6 are the common factors that are in both lists. So the greatest or the largest common factor in each group that we see from 12 and 18 are 6 and 6. Those two, 6 is the only number that we see as the highest number that are in both groups of factors. So the common factor is 6. The greatest common factor of 12 and 18 would be 6. Now, please understand, what does that mean again? Factors. What are the factors? Well, remember, when we do multiplication, we have two numbers that we're multiplying against each other to get the product. The product is the answer, right? So to get 12, we may multiply 6 times 2 to get 12, right? We may multiply 3 times 4 to get 12. Well, we multiplied 6 and 2. Those two are called factors. Those are factors. The numbers being multiplied are called factors together to get the answer, which we call the product when it comes to multiplication. And again, for the factors of 18, we multiplied 6 times 3. 6 and 3 are the two factors we multiplied together to get 18, right? But the things that they had, the one that they had in common, that was the highest number in the whole group for each group was 6. 6 was the highest one that they both shared and had in common out of the group. Pause the slide to discuss this further with your activity below. The greatest common factor, GCF, greatest common factor is called GCF, to simplify fractions. So today we're going to learn how the greatest common factor, the GCF, helps us simplify fractions. Simplifying a fraction means making the numbers smaller without changing the value of the fraction. Again, let's repeat this. We use the GCF, the greatest common factor, to make fractions smaller, but equal, but the same amount. So let's look at the fraction 24 over 36. Step 1, find the greatest common factor of 24 and 36. The greatest common factor is 12 because it is the largest number that divides both numbers evenly. Step 2, divide both the numerator and the denominator by 12. 24 divided into 12 equals 2. 36 divided into 12 equals 3. Therefore, 24 over 36 gives us 2/3. It's just that simple to simplify. Remember, to simplify a fraction, find the greatest common factor of the numerator and denominator. Then divide both numbers by the GCF. The fraction becomes smaller, but its value stays the same. All right, so this slide had to be corrected. So in your activity book, you will notice that when you get to this slide, this particular image right here, you should be seeing that it also had to be corrected inside your activity log. And if it hasn't been corrected, go ahead and shade part of it. Shade one little piece in the 6/8 portion because only 5 pieces was shaded, but that's what happened when you use image creations. So let's keep moving. Let's keep going. All right, so today we're going to learn about how to reduce or simplify fractions. So reducing fractions. Reducing a fraction means making the numbers smaller, but the fraction still represents the same amount. Okay, it's the same amount. So look at the example, 6/8. The fraction means 6 out of 8 equal parts. That means 6 parts, 6 pieces are shaded out of 8 pieces. And then we're going to divide the top and bottom by 3/4. That image shows 3 parts are shaded, 3 pieces of shaded out of 4. So this fraction means the same amount, but with smaller numbers. So first we had 6/8, and then we reduced it to 3/4. Okay? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Pause this slide to discuss the activity. All right, let's practice. This is simplifying fractions. We see the fraction in example 1, 12 over 18. So in order to simplify that fraction, we need to divide it into a number that divides into both 12 and it divides into 18. But we need to go as high as possible so that we can break this number down, this fraction down, as much as possible. So 12 divided into 6 will give us 2 because 6 times 2 is 12. And 18 divided into 6 will give us 3 because 6 times 3 is 18. The factors were 6 times 2 and the other factor was 6 times 3. But the greatest common factors of all the factors that could be used were 6 for both. So let's do example 2, 15 over 20. The greatest common factor that we used was 5. 15 divided into 5 gave us 3. And 20 divided into 5 gave us 4. So the greatest common factor again was 5. 24 divided into 30. The greatest common factor we used was 6 for both numbers. So 24 divided into 6 gave us 4. And 30 divided into 6 gave us 5. Why? Because 6 times 4 is 24. And 6 times 5 is 30. There we go. So pause this video so that you can discuss the activity in your workbook. Reducing fractions. So we're going to learn how to reduce or simplify fractions. Reducing a fraction means making the numbers smaller, but the fraction still represents the same amount. We're going to go deeper into this, okay? So look at the example 4/8. This means 4 out of 8 equal parts are shaded. Now we can simplify it. So both 4 and 8 can be divided by 4. So that means 4 divided into 4 gives us 1. And then 8 divided into 4 gives us 2. Again, 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So it's the same amount, but different fractions. That means that they're equal. because when we look at the pizza examples or the circles, we see the same amount shaded of the circle, the same amount on the circle shaded. Not that we have 4 pizzas that are shaded, but when we look at the circle as a whole, that portion of it is the same amount that's shaded as the other portion of the other pizza that shows half. Okay? So we reduce to make it simpler, way more simpler. Excellent job, Creative Learning Adventures. I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all made it again to the end of this slide. Have a beautiful day. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. We look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments.